agents talk to me about their personal brand and their logo, and they ask me, you know, how important is a brand? How important is a logo? I'm Katie Lance with Inman News, and today we're going to talk about your personal brand, how that works. We're going to talk a lot about your logo and some of the different things that you can do to really help your personal brand. This is Chris Smith with Inman News.
Hi.
Chris, so tell me a little bit about your thoughts in terms of a logo. I mean, how important is a personal brand, especially online?
Sure. Well, I'm going to talk today about logos and, you know, logo design. And we know what a logo is, right? We know what a swoosh is. Mm-hmm. We know what the Apple logo looks like. We know what the FedEx logo looks like. We know what the Remax logo looks like.
Right.
So is there an importance in people recognizing your brand? I think we have to all say yes to that. Now, the question is, what should your personal logo look like? Like, is your logo your headshot?
Right.
Because I don't like that approach. Is your logo a cartoon version of you, you know, online, like these little avatars we see?
Right.
Or is your logo potentially something new? Do you need a new logo? And if you have the Remax logo, that's great. And we're going to talk about the importance of co-branding. But I do think that most agents, when they went online, they didn't set up a logo.
Right.
They took their logo from their old business card and put it on their website, or they put their picture in the header. And so I think there's an opportunity to right now stand out and create a really meaningful logo and online presence. And there's some great resources to do that don't cost a lot of money. So we'll talk about them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of those resources? I know, you know, you could obviously hire a designer. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of companies have sort of in-house marketing teams.
Yep.
But there's also now some great websites that you were talking about. What do you recommend an agent does?
Yeah. Well, I think there's really two choices, which is custom or crowdsource. You know, we'll call it that. C or C, custom or crowdsource. Custom would be going to the internet and looking for designers who do this for a living, look at their specific individual portfolio and decide if you like their work and hire them. Now, of course, when you do something custom, it's going to cost a little bit more. It's going to maybe take a little bit longer. And then also, of course, when you're working with one designer, there's only going to be so many like proofs they can give you. Mm-hmm. The option of crowdsourcing, there's a website called 99 Designs. There's one called CrowdSpring. If you go to Google and put in logo designs, they're popping up all over the place. And the concept is that I can actually submit what I want my logo to look like and feel like and be about to the world. And if designers seem interested in my idea, they can submit a logo to me. Mm-hmm. So instead of me going to the designers come to me. And I get hundreds and hundreds of submissions. Now, because you're crowdsourcing, there's some crap, there's some garbage. Right. Half of them are ugly. You would never use most of them. But they go through a really cool process, CrowdSpring and 99 Designs, where, you know, round one, here's a bunch. What do you like? Based on what you like and don't like and the notes that you give, you get another round of submissions. Then you start really getting specific and you get another round of submissions. And then you choose the finalists, right? So now you're down to your last 5, right? And then you can ask them to make small little changes. So it's really a fun process. I want to say that. I enjoy, you know, going in. It's also gives you the ability to ask your sphere what they think of what you're about to do. We always talk about the pre-campaign.
Right.
It's not about the campaign, it's about the whisper campaign. So when you can go to Facebook and say, hey guys, I've got it down to 8 logos for my company. Can you help me choose? Right. People love to help with stuff like that. So custom or crowdsource, and then when you do crowdsource, you go through this really cool process. So you just have to kind of be committed to a week or 10 days worth of feedback and new designs. And you'll find designers inside of 99 Designs that are really talented. And if you find one that has submitted, you know, 3 of their first 4 entries you like, you could just click on their name and send a message straight to them. Mm-hmm. Hey, I love the submission so far. Can you try this one in a different color, right? So it's really, really amazing. And all of this is under $500. So
it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, because it's not just a logo for your website. It's your business card. It's your direct mail. It's your Facebook page icon.
Yeah.
If you have an app, it's your app icon, right? I mean, this is something that goes everywhere. So I think it's a great investment. I think it's an investment that pays itself back tenfold.
Right. So how do you feel like the Remax brand fits in with an agent's personal brand? Mm-hmm. You know, I think one of the benefits of Remax, of course, is that they're one of, if not the most recognized brands in the world. Mm-hmm. So obviously we want to take advantage of that, but it's still important as an agent to brand themselves beyond the headshot, like you said.
Yeah.
So what are your recommendations for doing that?
Yeah, I think it's critical that you do that, again, because the brands that consumers know, love, and trust, we need to have on our website. So if I was Zappos selling shoes, I bet if we went to Zappos, there's a Nike swoosh.
Right.
Does that make sense? So if you're a realtor selling homes, it makes sense to put a Remax balloon or a Zillow or maybe a Yelp review, right? So you basically want to find the brands like Remax that are well known amongst consumers, that they see a balloon, they go, oh, Remax is a real estate company. They get that. And so I would recommend kind of co-branding what you're doing with what Remax has already built. I do think it's important to kind of have your own identity and your own look and feel. I don't think it's necessarily the best strategy to like take the balloon Remax has come up with and try to like figure out a way to like work that into your stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the balloon is iconic and it stands alone. You're going to come up with this awesome new logo, and they can be beside each other or top to bottom or maybe on either side. Or some people will put the brand logo in the footer. You know, you see that quite a bit where maybe it's the agent and their logo at the top, and then in the footer, every page it has the Remax balloon. So there's a way to put them both in one place, and I actually think it's important that people do that, because you don't want to just be known as the Remax guy. You want to be known as the person people like. And so you need to have that little bit of your own branding, but of course leverage. I mean, there's a reason people work here, Katie.
Absolutely.
It's because they know the Remax brand is powerful. So don't ignore that, but it's not an excuse to not have your own sexy marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. So for an agent who's just, you know, they're thinking about it, they want to get started, they're thinking, okay, I'll go on 99 Designs, or, you know, I think I'm going to do some research in my local market. I've got a couple graphic designers I know really well. Where does someone start? Is it the colors? Is it the font? Is it? What are some tips that you might give somebody?
It's tricky compared to writing an about page. You know, you sit down to write your own bio, and you just get kind of frozen. Like, I went to school. No, he went to, or like Chris attended. Like, it's weird. So for me, what I would do is, first of all, find your favorite logos, whether that's well-known brands or local brands or brands that sell shoes or brands that sell cars or whatever it is. You know, find 5 or 10 logos that you love. And that way when you go to the designer, you'll have some ideas for them. The other thing I think you have to do is kind of write down what your brand means. So is your brand hot or cold, right? Is your brand passionate or laid back? Is your brand analytical or emotional, right? Is your brand, and I think what ends up happening is colors a lot of times are associated with emotions. So red is passion, right? Or green is intellect or whatever it is. So I think between figuring out like what your brand's all about, who are your clients, like who are the kind of clients I want to attract. If I want to attract a 27-year-old male and female couple that just graduated grad school, buying their first property, you know, they're totally plugged into social and all these things, you know, my brand might need to look modern and sleek and hip and cool. But if my audience is not that, if my audience is 55 plus communities in the suburbs in Florida, then my brand might need to look more credible, right? Or more trustworthy, or more compassionate, right? So I think that if you start with who your clients are and kind of what's going to resonate with them, and who are the people I want to attract, and then what are the logos that I do like, and then go one level deeper and find some real estate company logos that you like, because a lot of them have a house, or they have keys, or they have, you know, whatever it is. Between the 3 of those things, I think your designer will be well on their way. You'd be amazed. You know, I was telling you earlier, when I get on the phone with a designer, I have a 15-minute rule. If I'm talking to him for more than 15 minutes, I'm giving him too much information. And if he's asking me more than that, he's asking too many questions. Like, don't overthink it, right? But you do have to be pretty specific when you submit the kind of proof, if you will. Tell
them what you like, tell them what you don't like. But spend some time, like you said, really thinking about what your brand is, who your audience is.
Ready, aim, fire, right?
Right, absolutely. So I know we've given you a lot to think about today in terms of your personal brand, your personal logo. It's something really important to think about. You know, what you stand for, who your audience is, what kind of brand you really want to you know, put out there, especially on the web. Like Chris said, that, you know, the logo goes everywhere, right? It's on your card, it's on your website, it's on your Facebook page. So for more about personal branding and content strategy, please visit us. You can find out more on inman.com.